morning, Tottenham fans. Today is the 4th of June, around 7:45. When you see this, it's probably going to be around 9 p.m. UK time, and we still have no confirmation or clarification on what's going on with our manager. We also have not got any clarification or any conversations whatsoever about what we're going to be doing in the transfer market. Teams around us are all signing players while we stay stagnant and do nothing. We're the team that won the trophy, by the way. We're the team that qualified for the Champions League, whilst teams that lost in the final, like Man United, and also finished low in the table, are still in the march and buying players that we could have signed ourselves. And they are top quality players that Man United are going for. Why are we staying so still? In this video today, I want to talk about why we should keep Ange Postecoglou for next season, why it's so important, why it's so necessary to keep him going into next season, especially with all this upheaval with the board at the moment. We need consistency, and we need to get into this next season with all the players fully focused on what we need to do. We have Champions League football next season, as I keep repeating myself. It's so important. We have a Super Cup coming up, and we need to have consistency, and Ange Postecoglou is that man. And I'll give you my reasons why Ange Postecoglou should be in the job next season, and what would happen if he wasn't here and we replaced him with somebody else. So let's talk about why it's so important that Ange should be here. Firstly, all the players speak very highly of Ange Postecoglou, to the extent Porro came out and said he was upset that there was talks about him being sacked. Christian Romero's come out and said that if Ange leaves, then he don't want to stay either. This could cause upheaval in the players if we sacked Ange Postecoglou. He's got full backing from these players. They all want him to stay. You could see how much they were fighting for him in the Europa League final. And for me, it's just imperative that we just keep that feel-good factor going throughout the squad. Second thing is, Ange knew how much winning a trophy would mean to this club. He gets us. He knew what we needed. He knew what we wanted. Other managers winning a cup at other clubs, like we always get compared to Ten Hag. He won a cup at Man United and then kept his job on to next season. It's completely different story. It shouldn't be compared. It's completely different because Spurs haven't won a trophy for 17 years. They haven't won a European trophy for 41 years. Managers before Ten Hag were winning trophies. It's nothing new to that club. Ange has done something other managers couldn't do and changed the mentality of this club. He won a trophy. He's got us in the Champions League. You see? It's completely different. So he knew winning that trophy and sacrificing that league was risking his own job, but he knew he did it for us. That's how much he cares about this club and what he wants to do. And that is now, in his mind, a stepping stone to winning more. And he said so himself. Don't be happy with what we've just done. We can do more. And I love that way he says that. He's installed a winning mentality right through the squad. All of these players now believe they can go on and win more things. They all believe that they can win more trophies. They've got over the line now. They haven't got that burden of Spursy or a bottle in it. They haven't got that burden of this club hasn't won a trophy for 17, 18 years if we didn't win it this year. So they haven't got that heavy on their shoulders anymore. So now they can express themselves, go out and know what it takes to get in a final and win a game. And that's so important to your mentality. It really is. Mentality is the key to winning finals. You can have the best team in the world, but if they haven't got the mentality to win that final, then they're not going to win it. And PSG are a prime example. It took until Luis Enrique ingrained a winning mentality in that team, where they all fight for each other. There's not just about superstars. It's about all 11 of you on the pitch and the subs that come on. That's why they got over the line, not because they had all the best players in the world. Now, Ange has installed that mentality, and he wants to push on and try and see how far this club can now go, now the mentality is strong. He's also shown he can adapt, And now he got questioned so hard that he'd never adapted. He's tactically inept and all this. And when he'd done it in Europe, he's now being disrespected because they're saying, why didn't you do that in the league? You know, he didn't have a team in the league. He was playing all of his players in the Europa League. And then during from the end of November to January, February time, he had 12 available players. What kind of tactics do you want to do for 2 games per week? And he was putting all of his eggs into the Europa League basket. And at the time, it was the League Cup as well and the FA Cup. He was not concentrating on league form. And I truly believe next season he will, and will be a lot better. Another reason why Ange must stay next season is he knows what he needs. He knows what he needs regarding the squad players that he needs. He knows what players he doesn't need. He knows what areas of the pitch need filling, like a DM role. He'll probably know that. He'll know that we need more cover at the back to cover Van der Ven and Romero's constant injuries that they get. He'll know all the ins and outs of this squad. He'll know who needs to be pushed and when. You know, he knows the ins and outs. So it's important that he'll go into next season, learn a lot from the previous 2 seasons and kick on. Another reason is he's a proven winner. He did what he said he was going to do. He won a trophy in his 2nd season. He told all his players he was going to do it. He told the whole world, that he was going to do it. And he did it. And now he's told us that season 3 is going to be better than season 2. We have no reason to disbelieve him. He told us that he was going to win, and he did. We need to give him that chance to prove it to us again and prove even more doubters wrong. Now, what would happen if we didn't keep Ange Postecoglou and we proceeded with another manager? Names like Iriola and Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank is the most latest one at the moment. And it will be, again, a start of another rebuild. Only Spurs can start a rebuild after winning a trophy with a manager. Only Spurs can do that. And I hope they really don't do that, because for me it'd be a massive mistake. I do not want to start another rebuild. We should be building on success, not breaking it down and starting again. Once you've found success, you want to break it. You want to try and fix what's not broken. It doesn't make sense to me at all. Another reason is this guy that comes in, he won't yet know what players he wants to keep. He won't know what players he wants to get rid of. He doesn't yet know any of the players, so he's got to get to know everybody. He would have to implement a new style of play. Some players might not adapt to how he wants to play, so they might not have to go out the door as well. This would set us miles back for incomings and outgoings, because we'd have to have a pre-season for him to know anything. He'd have to see them playing. He'd have to see them training. We may not even make a signing, because he might not make a decision on anything. He might say he's happy with the squad that he's got, because the objectives might be different. The objectives might be you need to finish in the top 8, and he might feel that the squad that he's already got may be enough to finish in the top 8, depending on the objectives. He may not even get backed by the board because he isn't proven to be a winner. He hasn't proven to be a good manager for Spurs yet. The board might be treading on water, treading on eggshells, and they might not even back the new manager. Whereas Ange has said to him, look, I've won a trophy, now you need to back me. Now he's put them under pressure. Now the pressure's on the board, because Ange is saying, I need signings. I've told you what I can do. I've shown you what I can do. I've proved it. But the new manager that comes in hasn't proved anything. So the board might sit back and go, that's easy. Don't back him. We'll wait till next season and see what he can do. The players might revolt against the new manager because they were happy with Ange. They might, not like his style of play. They might not like the way he is with them. He might come in and absolutely destroy the family feel that they have right now. You don't know, depending on who comes in. The new manager is going to have extra pressure as well. Like, Ange has left a legacy. He's won a trophy. You know, if his objective is to come in and do better than that, then that's going to be very, very difficult, considering the Champions League and the Premier League are the two main things that are better than that. Yeah, he could have a chance of finishing higher in the league, and he might just scrap the cups and go out the FA Cup, the Champions League and the League Cup, concentrate on league and maybe get 8th, 7th or 6th. But would you guys be happy with a manager coming in and aiming for 8th and 6th place finishing and not caring about the cups? Because for me, success is always proven by what you win, not by where you finish in the table. It really isn't. If the first 10 games go badly for the new manager as well, what everyone's going to be saying, oh, why did we sack Ange? What have we done? Or they'll be saying, he's doing just as badly as Ange in the league. We might as well have kept it the same it was, because the players were at least behind Ange, and now there could be turmoil, losing game after game at the beginning of the season. The fans will definitely turn against the board, because they'll say, now what are you doing? Because then the board would have to think about sacking the new manager, and we could end up with 2 rebuilds in one season. So as much as everybody thinks the grass is greener on the other side, it could turn out to be even worse league-wise. We could end up in the bottom half with no trophy. Can you imagine that? Consistency with Ange would be, he's learnt from the first 2 seasons. He's now learning to adapt. Even in the Premier League, he was adapting. As many people want to ignore this, but he was adapting. The fullbacks weren't inverting as much anymore. If he had all of his players available, I'm sure we would have gained a lot more points this season. So for me, bringing in a new manager does not make any logical sense, considering we ended the season with a trophy. And I honestly believe, carry on this feel-good factor, this family feel. The players are strongly behind the manager, and just push on. Back him with everything you've got. Bring in some quality players for him. So even if we had a mini injury crisis, he could cover it with quality players coming in. That way, you'll get a good league form, and you could probably get a good cup run too. Bringing in a new manager is just going to set us back another couple of years, and then by the end of those 2 years, we could be having a rebuild yet again, and we could be waiting for another 17 years for the next trophy. Back Ange, keep him in. I think it's massively important we do so, and hopefully the board come out with this news very soon, because it's getting very frustrating that they're keeping so quiet on it. They need to make a statement. Ange is staying. We're going to back him. We're going to push forward, and we're going to have a much better season. Let me know in the comments what you think of this video today. Thank you for watching, and come on you Spurs.